Hey everyone, I just popped back on. And I have something very important I want to talk to all light workers about. I want to share something. And I want to speak my truth on something that really kind of is dear to my heart, and as well as when you are doing this work. So I'm going to give a disclaimer right now. And if you know the tone of my voice and you see my face right now, this is a serious talk. So if you are easily triggered emotionally, mentally, physically, or spiritually, this message is not for you to listen to. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds to click off, go make some brownies. I don't know, zone out, go watch somebody else's YouTube, but do not watch this program because what I'm about to say is for a lot of healers that venture in or go through this. And I need for the healers to hear this. And I'm sitting with this precariously. And I'm going to say it in a very interesting way. So, first of all, when you are called to be doing some work for people and you have something that you need to do, there's certain things that I pay attention to when it comes to doing work for others. This is not going to be this is a much needed subject to talk about, but at the same time, this is not going to be a walk in the park talk. This is not going to be it's not going to be comfortable. Let me put it. We're going to get into the curriculum of healing. What is your curriculum? We're going to get into the curriculum. And here's the deal. And I'm gonna actually hold my space in a good way. And I'm gonna pretend like my parents are watching this right now. I'm gonna put it that way. So when you are doing your healing work and you are called to do your healing work, and you go be a part, you set things in motion to do your healing work, there will be challenges. There will be great challenges because you have to understand sometimes you could be called in to do work for someone or to help someone simply for the fact that it's they want to not be in fear of whatever they're embarking on. So you, the healer, you're going in to do what you know to do. It's called do your medicine and what is yours to do. I've been trained in all that. Do your medicine and what's yours to do. And I'm going to talk about some things that I've encountered in my work. And I never really, bring it up or say anything. I kind of say a little bit here and there. But you know what? Today is one of those days where I'm reflecting on some things and I need to say this. So, first of all, when you see me come to you to help you, you see a brown skinned woman. You see a woman with a piercing. I may have a wig on, may not have a wig. 90% of the time, I always wear a wrap on my head. Now, I want you to look at me. Look at me. I am coming as I am to be of service. But I tell you what I've encountered when I go and be of service, rather it's working, doing massage work, rather it's going into a spa setting, rather it's doing my own thing, it doesn't matter. Because as soon as someone sees me that's not used to seeing me, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is a judgment. Full on judgment. It's a judgment. Now, I'm going to be very cautious of where I pick my places to move to because I want to live in places where it's balanced, people have free will to be who they are, and it's loving and kind. And it's not based on certain areas where you go and it's I have to say it this way, Bible thumping. Okay? Bible thumping. Everyone has a right to follow their path of how Creator calls them to be in this world. Nobody has the right to tell them you have to be this way, or you have to be this way, or you have to think this way, or you have to be this way in order to get to heaven. You came from there, you will return back there unless you have had crimes against children or crimes against yourself, which means suicide, or you have crimes against children and done monstrous things to children. You will not be getting there. You will be on a different route, guaranteed. If you suicide, you're going to repeat your life cycle. If you have crimes against children, well, there's no pie for you waiting in heaven, that's for sure. And you know what those crimes are. So when you see me, or when you call upon me, or when you want that reading, or when you want that healing, or you want that priestess to show up, or you want that sun dancer to show up, whatever you're calling me for, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be there. But there are some people that will judge me because of my color, my scar, my piercing. Automatically jump to voodoo. I'm voodoo. I'm doing voodoo. Oh, that's witchcraft. She's doing voodoo. Let me tell you something. If that rolls off your lips that easily, and that's how you think of someone that walks in their healing way, they might not look like you think a healer should look like. But if that's how you're judging that person, then you don't know the terms of what you are saying. You don't know the term and definition of what voodoo is. You do not know the term and definition of what witch or witchcraft is. You know them from a religion point of view. I told you this was going to get deep. So this pressing your button, you should be clicked off because I'm not editing this. I'm speaking for a lot of other healers that go through this. When you see me, this is who I am. Rather I have my hair in braids, rather I have my pretty burgundy color, wavy, watery look wig on, or I have my hair scarf on and my blue and my purple and my black, my flowers, my whatever. I am bringing my priestess self forward. This is who I am and this is how I walk. What you see is what you get. Okay? So when I have people that judge me and call me that when I have not studied that, when I have not walked that way in voodoo, it's kind of like it's an insult to the healer who shows up. It's not nice to say that to them. It's not nice at all. Some people would just blow that off and stuff, but I've had it happen a little bit too much coming from some people. And you know what? Don't insult me like that. If I've studied that, I will honor that, but I have not studied that. I don't walk that way. I've had somebody else say that to me once. They said, "Oh, you gonna work your voodoo on me?" What is that? What is that to you? How do you know what that is? Do you even understand what you are saying when you say that to someone? This is for all the healers that go through that judgment, that labeling. When you are called on to do medicine work and you are creating that sacred space for that person, you're doing your work for that person. And whatever their beliefs are, just know you're going to be bumping up against that. Because whatever their belief is, whatever they grew up with, that's what they're tied to. And your sacred job is, as the healer, is just to hold that sacred space so that they can make the soul consciousness to do what is theirs to do, if they want to heal or if they want to let go. You will run into people who will challenge you on what your work is. And the ones that challenge you or question you on what your work is usually ones that are curious. They're trying to figure out, how did you get that? Or where does it come from? That's my favorite one. Where does this come from? Oh, I don't know. I think of it up and then it just shows up. It comes from the heavenly realm. I'm cosmic. It comes from the stars. I'm a part of that. That's where it comes from. It comes from the heaven realm. I work with the benevolent light team. Benevolent. There's a difference. Divine. And I'm saying this for all you healers out there who have been bumping up against this type of situation. And you put a smile on your face and you just keep on going. Chewing bubblegum and smiling and kicking ass. I'm all out of bubblegum today. So I'm saying this because this is really important when you go and do your work and you set up that sacred space and you create such a wonderful energy for that person to heal in, for that person to receive what they need to receive. And you're bumping up against a lot of different belief centers and all that stuff. That's fine. Let them have their belief. Whoever that is outside your scope, let them have their belief. But don't you, as the healer, take it on and judge yourself or think that you or what you do is not good enough for whoever's receiving it or good enough for whoever's judging you. They call it judgment for a reason, because they sit in decisiveness on what they're looking at and they can't figure out what it is. So of course they're going to judge it. Judge away. When you do your medicine and you have it in place and whoever you are being of service what and you're working with, keep that sacred space tight. Because you don't know who's going to be coming in around that's going to be bringing energy in that might conflict on what you're doing. So I'm saying this so that when you set your intentions and you go out with an open heart and spirit and you're being of service, you come back clean. Conscious is clean. You did what you came to do and you did your part. And it was up to the person that was receiving or how that space was set for them to do the rest. And sometimes you don't have control over what others may do or how that might be set up with others. You don't know what their intentions are. When I go out and I'm of service, I know what my intention is. I know what I'm setting up for. I know what I'm doing. And I know I'm doing it from the highest point of divine good and benevolent light. That's it. That's what I come and be of service of. So when things start getting kind of, and this is for you healers, when things start getting kind of weird and you start feeling like something's off, don't take on any kind of outside blame, because someone is bound to start trying to point fingers on what happened. There's no blame at all. I am very picky, and I'm going to say this in a very good way, and you're going to understand what I'm saying. All of you know this. Now, I know I have one client, I have a couple, and they always tell me and say, I just can't go to just anybody and let them work on me, because I don't know what their energy is like. I don't know what their frequency is like. I don't know what they're going to be doing. I have friends that would tell me they only go to a certain massage therapist to get work done. I only have 2 massage therapists that I allow to work on me. I only have 2. Because they have to be able to know when they're working on me who they're working on. When they step into my space, I don't want someone working on me that has alcohol issues, plant issues. They're constantly smoking up a pot or taking it every time. I don't want to deal with that. And if they have high anxiety and they're on pills, I don't want that either. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I've seen it too many times. People who are running that energy and they working on somebody. And you get off the table and you're all messed up. Don't know what's wrong with your energy. Takes you time to get back to yourself. You don't know what's wrong. People that run in those energies are doorways for problems. They're doorways. Straight up, doorways. They're doorways for attachments. They're doorways for not being in their true, authentic self. Because they're too busy numbing up, doing stuff, and then they're trying to go out and do healing work and be a healer. Really? You better heal yourself first before you get your hands on somebody else. Clean yourself up first. Because there's some healers out there that think they're doing healing work, and you're sitting on the sideline partying on the weekend, drinking and doing your pot every time you look up, but you're going to go put your hands on someone and think you're doing healing work. Really? What are you passing on to that person? What are you passing on? Are you enhancing that person's energy? Or are you bringing that energy down? What are you passing on? Think about it. I just want you to think about it. Energy is energy, right? And if people are coming from a place of you don't know what their intention is and what they're doing, they can mess things up. I am very guarded on who is going to be touching me. Because I've had too many incidents where people got in my space and did things that they should not have done. And then it took somebody else to undo what they did to me. And it was purely out of, I don't even know if I can say, it was malicious. Let's just put it like that. It was a malicious attack. And you know what I'm talking about. The ones that see your gifts and they want what you have, and basically what they do is they mess with you because they're jealous because they can't do what you do. They didn't put the time in, they didn't put the work in. They weren't born with the gifts. So then you run into those types. I'm hitting some nails right now. And like I said, if you are watching this and I told you not to watch this, don't blame me because you cannot unhear this after I've said it. You know I'm speaking my truth. So don't get ugly because it's truth. So when you are being of service and you're doing your work and you keep your energy tight with your client, everything's tight, everything's good. And then when you say everything's good, everything's good, everything's good, and client is doing fine, and all of a sudden client starts going down. So this is when you have to make the decision. Do you go back and do what you need to do with your client? Or do you step back and allow your client to make a conscious decision on what they want? When I go out and I scan the energy and I look at everything, I step back. I did my part. I created sacred space. I did my part. I showed up. I did my part. Anything else during the time when I'm checking in on my client, everything's good, and then all of a sudden, anything else that's happening, I'm going to be questioning. What happened? What happened? What happened? So I wanted to come on here and tell all of you that are the healers. When you show up and you do your part and you do your medicine, you did your part. Anything else or anybody else gets into that energy and starts putting their stuff all in there, that's their part. It's up to the one that's receiving it, if they can handle it or not, to speak up, to say what they want or how they're feeling, if they can handle it. Because different energies do different things. I'm going to say that again. Different energies do different things. So it all depends on what you're setting up for your client, how everything was flowing, what's coming in. And it all depends on your client if they're staying or going. Sometimes I don't have to say anything. But I needed to come on and speak this because it was a pivotal moment that just happened. And I see this a lot, not just only in my work, but I see this a lot with others. And there comes a time when you just have to say, you know what? I did what I needed to do. Sometimes the ring is not big enough for everybody to be in it. Sometimes the ring is only big enough for the fighter. And that's what counts. The fighter. And the fighter has to know if they're staying in the ring, who's going to be standing? Is it going to be them or the opponent that they're fighting? Who has the best curriculum? Who was prepared? Who did the work? So I pass this on with love to all the other healers. You come, you show up, you do your best. You do what you need to do. And at the end of the day, when you lay your head down and you check your eyes and you cross your T's, you should be able to close your eyes and get a good night's sleep and know that your heart is good because you went in with an open heart, you set good intentions, and everything was good. Let that be how you walk as the healer. Let that be how you walk and you show up in your practice, in whatever you do. And stand strong in who you are. And do not let others put a label on you that is not for you to have that label of. I don't even have to say anything when someone says something that's inappropriate to me. I just give the look, and you have 5 seconds to apologize. Not even 5 seconds. I'm down to 3 seconds. You better be apologizing. Because I'm known for, well, let me get my stuff. Time to leave. Gotta go. Bye. Or when you want me to show up and do something, I won't be there to do it. Because sometimes, me personally, I get tired of labels. I am Priestess Makala. Niana is my Taino name. I am known by my parents as Felicia. Creator knows me, as my divine self. That's how I show up in the world. When you see me in person, that's who I am. That's what I have to give. Point blank, period. So, in the next coming weeks, it's going to be a bumpy ride for a lot of people. In the next coming weeks, there's going to be a lot more light workers stepping up, claiming themselves. In the next couple of weeks, there's going to be some that's going to question what they're doing. Stop going out, testing here, testing here, testing here, tasting here. Find out what you're really good at and horn in on that and be that. Stop gathering all your stuff, all your medicine stuff all over the place. Find out what you're really good at and be that. Stepping into your true self. There's so many people that don't even know who they really are. And they're scared to find out who they really are. They're scared to find out their truth of who they really are. Because they are identified by how people perceive them, how people look at them, how people think of them, where they live, how much money they have, what's their status, and all that crap. Who the hell are you? Do you even know who you are? Do you even know why you're on this planet? Let's start there. And if you're judging somebody, why are you judging them? What's not sitting right in you that's causing you to judge them? So, I have spoken. I have spoken my truth. So, those that you that want to continue working with me, you have every way to reach me. I will show up for you, create that sacred space, and we're going to get to the root of your issue. It is up to you to fight for you, to fight for what you want in your life. The healer just sets the stage, sets the energy, sets up the portal, sets up the divineness of the meeting. And when you're in the ring and you're the fighter, you better be the one standing at the end of the day. That's how this goes down. So I hope all of you healers get the gist of what I'm talking about. Don't go out there selling yourself short. Don't overwork yourself to death. Know what your intention is. Set that space up. Do what Creator tells you to do. Follow your instructions. Because the proof is in the pudding when you are done. Anything afterwards, like I said, the fighter better be the one standing. Sometimes we always don't win. This was a serious talk that's been coming for a long time. And I said this very respectfully for the highest good of all of us as healers. And I hope all of you respect yourselves enough to know when you do your job and you put your medicine out there and you walk your stuff, no matter what it is, you're coming from a good heart, soul place to do it. You know what you're doing. You know yourself when you do it. So, I've spoken. I'm going to be incognito for a couple of days because I want to be. I think everybody needs to go, I don't know, just sit and be. Get things in order. What's your intent? What's your purpose? What is your intention and what is your purpose? Because at the end of the day, you got to answer to you. Peace and light.